Hey, what's going on, guys? There was a big update today for Dune Awakening. So if you're interested in the patch, I'm going to read through it for you. Patch 1.1.0.17. Features and changes. A lot of changes to the deep desert. As outlined in a message from the creative director on PvE and PvP, Dune Awakening, this hotfix will see the first iteration of the changes to the balance between PvE and PvP in the deep desert. Rest assured that we will continue to listen to your feedback and make adjustments in the future. The PvE area has been adjusted to encompass the entire southern half of the deep desert map. That's a pretty big win, so now you can go out and farm materials, you can get blueprints a lot easier, you don't have to really worry about PvP anymore, which there is so many PvE players playing this game. Like, I get that the PvP players might be a little upset, but they still have a lot of room in the deep desert, and still the final areas of the deep desert have like these bigger materials and spice. This means that players who have no interest in PvP should be able to find what they want without engaging in PvP. Imperial testing stations, caves, and so forth found in this area are thus now PvE. Control points and shipwrecks will, however, continue to be PvP throughout the entire map, which means you will find localized pockets of PvP within the PvE section still. Similar to how shipwrecks are in PvP in Haga Basin. Perfect, fine with me. I rarely run into PvP in these. To retain the risk versus reward set up for the deep desert. The density of resources increases the further you go. So the further north you go, the more stuff you'll get. Nice. Makes sense. This includes high density clusters of valuable resources. The largest spice fields will also spawn in the north. The majority of control points will exist in the north part. As a part of these changes, we have made some balancing adjustments in the deep desert. The lower half of the deep desert now offers PvE loot that is balanced towards shared loot and PvE activities. Oh, that's good. So you don't actually have to worry about your friends taking everything from you. That's a nice little fix. You may find better loot in more dangerous PvP area located further north on the map. In the PvE area, for example, each player gets their own loot and can expect to receive one schematic. In the PvP area, loot is distributed on a first-come, first-served basis with higher quantities of everything. Players can expect to find 2 to 6 schematics there, which are among the rarest. It's pretty good. People who go out there, it's going to be worth their while because they can just sell it on the marketplace. It's all the PvE players who don't want to go out there and get that stuff, they'll probably buy it. Plasteel plates can only be found in PvP zone. The amount of active medium spice fields have been reduced from 8 to 5. The number of active small spice fields has increased from 20 to 22. The spawn rate of titanium and starvidium has been reduced in the PvE area so that large quantities only spawn in the far out PvP areas. The number of nodes and resource hotspots in the PvE part of the map has been reduced. The respawn time of titanium and starvanium has increased from 30 to 45 minutes. Some Imperial testing stations are still PvP region, and players who want all schematics available each week will want to visit both PvP and PvE Imperial testing stations. Keep in mind that the loot in them rotates each week, so even if you're not interested in PvP, you could obtain it at a later date if you're not able to trade for it or buy it from the exchange. Alright, so that's the deep desert. Now we have vehicles. We have begun to work on the outline changes to the scout ornithopters. Equipping a rocket launcher module will now decrease top speed of your ornithopter. For scout ornithopters, the reduction is 20%. For assault ornithopters, the reduction is 10%. Info cards in the modules now reflect this change. Exiting ornithopters mid-air will now cause them to... Exiting ornithopters in mid-air will now cause them to drop straight down instead of gliding away. This should decrease the chance that you will lose your ornithopter upon disconnecting from the game or exit by accident your ornithopter midair. Yes, we have seen the videos. This has happened to me twice. One time in the deep desert, your ornithopter just goes, you lag out, fall to the ground, and then a sandworm comes and eats you. It's a great time. Glad they fixed that. Known issue, there's an edge case that if your vehicle ends up in the quicksand, you might not be able to interact with it if you are in the quicksand. The workaround is to try to get on top of the vehicle and interact with it. This will be fixed in the very next patch. We removed the restriction when visiting other sietches. Before this change, players have had their home sietches and could visit other sietches in their world but couldn't claim land. Now any player can go to any sietch in their world and claim land where they want. That's pretty cool. I didn't even know you could visit other ones. Technical and stability. Increased game stability. The latest NVIDIA driver was added to the GPU driver check at game launch. I did that and I updated my driver. I'll let you guys know how that goes. We have introduced player reporting, allowing players now to report other players. Message from text, chat, report players from the inspect menu on players. Fixes. Yeah, this is a pretty big patch. As a continuous effort, we have closed several exploit vulnerabilities, fixed an issue where a specific type of network issue would cause players to be stuck in an infinite loading screen, fixed an issue where some players could have experienced a client freeze when traveling between deep desert servers. Combat, fixed an issue where players performing a melee attack could get obstructed by corpses lying on the ground. I didn't know that could happen. Melee combat needs a little work, I think, still. Fixed an issue where the guild faction alignment was not localized on the guild overview tab. Fixed an issue where players could encounter a black screen if they skipped the cinematic at the wreck of the Hepatis. Fixed an issue where several sandbike research schematics failed to mention the Imperial testing stations as a primary source. Travel. Fixed an issue where players could use an ornithopter pilot service to fly from cities to Haga Basin if they had arrived in the city with their ornithopter. Miscellaneous. You will no longer lose to learned emotes when respecting your skill tree. Okay. And these are older patch stuff, so yeah, that's the patch for today. I'm gonna jump in, see how it feels. I'll let you guys know. I'm also making another video about like if you're logging off for a long period of time and you want to know what to do with your stuff and your base. So I will post that as soon as I can. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.